Welcome to the Yo-11 podcast, mostly Vegas, no BS casino experience and more. Michael Traeger's casino and travel loyalty expert who also helps people turn their travel dreams into reality. And now your host, Michael Traeger. How's it going, Michael?
It's going well. We had a little bit of a nice hiatus. So many things going on with combination of your life, my life, me going to the Bahamas, Zorkfest coming up. So just a lot, right? I mean, it's been quite extra the last couple of weeks.
There's been a lot going on for sure, but this is definitely we are on our way. This is the road to Zorkfest, pretty much going on. Nice, like your little like your banner there, back in the back there. That thingy you got going on there.
Yeah, that's the banner we use for Zorkfest, and I do have to update it because our new logo is so cool, but I haven't updated that banner yet. That'll be for Zorkfest 2025, which we are already working on. We could tease.
That's right.
We're already working on 2025 because everybody likes information, and this is going to be the best Zorkfest ever. It's got everything. It's got bougie alcohol. It has amazing sessions. It even has a magician. Did you know that?
I did not know that. No. Wow.
And it has amazing gifts from our sponsors at Jack Daniels and Herradura. So it's really a phenomenal event, and it has a lot of people, and you could actually still buy a ticket, though we wish you would do it on the sooner side so we can have our counts complete. But we're ready to roll. It's very, very soon. But if you want, you can check out our amazing website at zorkfest.com.
When you were talking about how this Zorkfest is going to be the best one, and you said that this one has everything. It reminded me of this skit. There was this guy, there was a character on Saturday Night Live, Stefan, that was played by Bill Hader, and he would come in and do like nightclub reports, and his character was off the wall. But it would be the same thing. So it was like, if you're looking for travel and loyalty points conference, Zorkfest has everything. He would just, well, he would go in and say these things, and you had to see it. But I'm sure someone listening knows what I'm talking about.
Well, that's like in your video with the voiceover,
Zorkfest.
We basically have a fabulous team of personalities here, which makes me so happy because Movestro is so different than me, but provides such amazing comic relief, as well as the fact that he does amazing video editing as well as voiceovers. Like we do, like we do everything here, pretty much so.
that voiceover I did for the Zorkfest 2024 video was the last thing I was able to speak before I completely lost my voice because of that cold or the flu that I had.
But it's all good now. You're all fine. You're like drinking green juice, doing caviar bumps, all ready for.
I hope to soon. I haven't done a caviar bump yet, but I hope to soon. That's for sure.
You will. It's what we call hashtag life goals. So, since we have no news today, you're gonna do the abridged. Are you gonna do the abridged version of the news? Tropicana is no more. It's been imploded. F1 is coming. What else is there? Is there anything else major that we should be talking? There are a few things that have happened in Vegas.
Particle Inc., which was a show that started out here in the Arts District, moved over to Luxor for a limited engagement. They've just closed their show at Luxor, but they are going to take the show international. Of course, Tropicana is no more. Kaboom, gone, pile of rubble, making way for the new Bally's Resort and possibly Stadium, if that actually happens. Every day it just gets more and more looking like it's not happening, so we'll see. F1 is coming. The construction is happening. It is what it is.
Aren't there rumors about another stadium near Rio? There were rumors about too. You see, I have so much trouble absorbing all of these rumors sometimes.
Yeah, it's really hard to follow the rumors. There was at one point a thing about a stadium on Rio or near Rio. There's also that NBA thing that's supposed to happen. So, it looks like,
Ooh,
2025 will be arena announcements or something like
and
that.
don't forget the W Hotel Take Two.
Yeah, yeah.
I call it the W Take Two because there was a W
There
before
was.
at SLS,
Yep.
and that is no more. And we are getting a W because our hotel, the Delano, will become a W, which is a major Marriott brand, and I think W works perfectly in Las Vegas. I think it's a great brand for Las Vegas. I'm sorry it didn't work out before. So, just to recap, that property has had already the stupidest hotel name in the world when it was called The
The
Hotel.
hotel.
Remember the what hotel are you going to, Movestro? The hotel.
The
I mean, what
hotel.
hotel? The hotel.
Not
What
just
hotel?
not just any hotel. The hotel. It's the hotel. Yeah, that was, and they capitalized the. It was
Yes.
capital THE hotel.
Right.
It
And
was.
then that became the Delano,
Yep.
which is which is another luxury funky hotel brand, and now that will become the W. But I have my list in my head. I've never done this great episode title of the stupidest hotel names in the world,
Mm-hmm.
and the hotel was on the top of my list. There actually is another the hotel in Brussels. Did you know that?
I did not know that.
And I've stayed there. I've stayed at the hotel. What hotel in Brussels? The hotel. But this week I came across a hotel which has a worse name than the hotel.
Bill's Gambling Hall.
No, this hotel is called Last Name.
Hey everybody, what's going on? Michael Movestro here. I'm in the middle of editing this episode, and I just want to say real quick that Michael, he sort of spoke off the top of his head. The name isn't last name; it's actually first name, which doesn't make it any better. Especially when you look at their branding, and you can see it says first name, but it's as one word, capital F, capital N, no space, first name Bordeaux. I really feel like something went wrong with the form that was being filled out or something. But first name with a capital F and a capital N with no spaces. That's something. So even though Traeger messed it up a bit, he didn't mess it up as badly as those who named that property. So just wanted you to know. You'll hear him say last name. It's first name. Not that it matters. They're both horrible. All right. That sounds like someone didn't fill something out on a form.
That's exactly what I thought. So I got a travel request where someone asked me to price a hotel called Last Name. Did they just got paste from somewhere like Last Name? But it's in Bordeaux and it is a Hyatt Privé property and it is called the Last Name Hotel in Bordeaux. Yes, it is really called Last Name. So the award for the stupidest hotel name in the world is Last Name.
I want to name a hotel middle initial parentheses optional. I think I think we need to get one of those going. Last name just seems like that wasn't supposed to be it. It's like, what's the name of the hotel? Oh, just use the last name, like of the owner. But it was like last name, and the signage showed up, and it was like, well, damn, we have to call it last name now. It just seems that's just so weird. Like, why would they call it that?
I
Oh man, we got to look into like why they called it that, or there's got to be something on their page that marketing had to spin up real quick. Um,
Well, maybe it's one of those things also because it's in France. It's one of those things where maybe the English to French sounds cooler than it does to English speaker.
oh wait, so it's kind of like Fountainbleau. So it would
Yes, exactly. Maybe
Fontainebleau,
there's some great French pronunciation of it. Last name.
last nommé, last nommé.
Well, but it's spelled in English last name. It's the English spell. It's very odd.
It's
Anyway,
odd. It's very odd.
That's all I got for you. That's all I got for you today. I would love in the show notes. Be sure to tell us what your worst hotel name is. Worst hotel name in the world. Be sure to tell us what is that. I think the hotel was pretty much so right up there with worst hotel names.
Yeah, yeah,
So
yeah.
I'm
That last name. I can't wait to see what the viewers, listeners have to say in the comments, because that's gonna be. I'm looking forward to seeing what treasure trove awaits us. We ask
what treasure
our
trove
audience. Yeah,
awaits us of the worst hotel names in the world. Well, you know what? They could then open up another hotel in the town over called First Name,
yeah, yeah.
Middle Name.
I mean, there are some crazy town names in Pennsylvania. So just saying, there are some very interesting town names in Pennsylvania. If one of those makes it to a hotel name, yeah, I think like the Bird in Hand Hotel, I think would be very interesting. Very interesting indeed.
Good stuff.
Good stuff.
So I guess onwards and upwards to
Indeed.
teasing.
And now it's time for the tease.
Okay, well, today we are teasing a little bit about my wonderful trip that I just had to the Bahamas. And yes, it really is better in the Bahamas. I always liked that tagline. I don't think they use it anymore. They used to have it. They probably, that's a nice voice they did too. It's better in the Bahamas. You could probably do that, Movestro, better than I could. But
Probably.
probably because you have the voice. Anyway, I had the joys of going to Baha Mar, which is a resort in the Bahamas, which has 3 different hotels. I stayed at the Grand Hyatt, which is one of the larger hotels. There is also a SLS and Rosewood Hotel. This I have been meaning to get there for forever, and the property opened around 2014, so it's a relatively new property. For those familiar with the Bahamas, a lot of people will tell you about Atlantis. Atlantis has been around for about 30 years. That's a little bit of a drive from Baha Mar, but you also would be flying into Nassau. But my focus is on Baha Mar, and I would say it's a little bit like a baby Wynn hotel, which is sort of cute because I love Wynn, but the design. And we're going to step through in the background while I talk a little bit about the property, some slides that Movestro created just for us. And I've got to say, the best thing ever is a sign that says guest elevators this way and high limit gaming that way, because just as you're about to go up to your room, you might decide, I really want to go to high limit gaming instead. So that is pretty cool. Anyway, I said a little bit. What's interesting is the property, if you just look at some of the pictures, you're like, that really looks a lot like Wynn. It is a baby Wynn, and smaller than Wynn. It's a pretty large property. For a while, it was the largest casino in the Caribbean. I'm not sure if it actually is anymore, but it is like Wynn. But I joke a little bit and say if Wynn was designed by Pottery Barn and not Roger Thomas, can't exactly come up with it. You know what? The property is extremely well done. It is beautiful. And of course, on the Yo-11 podcast, since we focus a lot on casinos, we love to talk about the casino aspects even more so than the hotel aspects. And everything is well done, but it is definitely not Roger Thomas design. Some of the details aren't there, but that's to be expected because very few places are of the caliber and level of Roger Thomas. But that does not make this bad. This place is very, very good. It has an absolutely lovely design. And I was able to eat at a number of restaurants. Shang Ba, which is the Asian restaurant, which has a great little drink in a Buddha, is actually, do you know what Shangba means, Movestro?
No, I don't. What does it mean?
It means double eight,
Ah.
which signifies prosperity and wealth. And it is far from a coincidence that the restaurant has, this is totally up my alley, 88 seats and 88 items on the menu.
Oh wow, that's pretty cool.
So I love that. Great food, really, really good, absolutely wonderful. We also ate at Marcus, which is like a chop house, which is outside. It's a little bit off the property. It's like towards the water park. It is beautiful. It's actually indoors and outdoors. We ate at Carne, which is an amazing steakhouse. We also had lunch at Pizza Lab. Love the name Pizza Lab. Really, really good name. Really, really good pizza. And got a chance to try the cigar lounge, which is called the T Squared Cigar Bar. Here's when I ask Movestro again. What do you think T Squared refers to? I would have never gotten this.
A T-square is something that architects tend to use when they're making their blueprints. I learned that from Seinfeld.
Okay, well, this T Squared stands for Tiger Woods and Justin Timberlake.
Huh, interesting.
It is their cigar lounge. That is sort of cool too. The property also has an amazing water park, an amazing arcade for kids, and it has an amazing kids club. So not only do you have a really, really nice casino, but you have tons of amazing activities for kids. You're going to say to me, but Michael, what is the gambling like? Well, I will admit I did not gamble. No,
Wow.
not at all. Not even $20.
Not even
part of it.
You walked right past Baccarat?
I did.
Wow.
I did many times. And I actually had the funds to gamble and I was planning to. But I will tell you, I was just so busy with this trip and have so much work to do. And I just wasn't in the mindset to gamble. And since I wasn't staying there on a casino package, I didn't have to worry about gambling to cover my comp room or to cover my food and beverage because I was invited on this trip by Hyatt, which was really, really nice. So I didn't see a lot. I'm a little bit at this point in my life very focused on value proposition for gambling or how you spend your bankroll.
Mm-hmm.
And I didn't see it could have gotten me some future offers to come back. But since I'm so busy and since I'm really focused on Vegas, my number one place that I really want to go is Vegas. And I focus most of my bankroll. And if you happen to know it, I focus most of my bankroll on Vegas. And most of that is focused on Wynn Las Vegas. That I just felt that it wasn't worth the potential risk reward. Of course, I would have felt brilliant if I went and sat down and played Baccarat and won $5,000 and, gotten great comp offers. But also there's the chance that I could lose $5,000. So I didn't want that kind of stress in my life. But They did have Baccarat. All of their squeeze game Baccarat, they only had squeeze Baccarat from what I could tell, was $100 minimum, $10,000 maximum. They also had 200 to 10,000. They also had no tigers and no dragons. They had a pairs bonus. Did you hear that? No tiger bonuses and no dragon bonuses, which is sort of a bummer because I love those crazy bets. Of course, there was banker player tie. There also was a lot of blackjack, $15 blackjack and $25 blackjack. 15 was max of 1,000. 25 was max of 2,000. What you will notice is that they have both 6-5 and 3-2 blackjack. They have 6-5 next to the 3-2 blackjack. There were some $15 3-2 blackjack tables next to 6-5, $25 blackjack tables. So you really have to pay attention to the tables you sit at because you can't just assume that a $15 table will be 6-5 and a $25 table will be 3-2. I thought that was sort of interesting. I have seen that many times before. Like the most egregious situation I saw was at Encore Boston Harbor, where they had $50 blackjack table. They had a $50 6-5 table next to a $50 3-2 table. Can you believe that?
Wow. Yeah.
It's like casino mindfuck. Right? Like, are you paying attention? Like, we're going to give you exactly the same tables, but one we're going to make a 3-2 blackjack and one we're going to make a 6-5. And we're going to put them next to each other and see if people fall for it. It's like putting a 0-0 and a 0-0 roulette table right next to each other. And then you see the 0-0 is full and you're like, why is this happening?
Oh, yeah. No one notices those things.
Yeah, it is very OG. Bahamas is OG gaming. Like, it is gaming that was available before there was a lot of gambling in the United States when you only had Atlantic City, and Las Vegas, Nevada, to gamble. They also have wonderful craps, and the craps is 15. There were all the craps tables always were $15 minimum. That's really good. To $3,000 maximum, which is fine, and 3, 4, 5 times odds, and great. Basically US style, Las Vegas style gambling. So it is a great place to gamble. Looked like they had the complete array of all the slot machines. They also had a high limit room. A few of the pictures I showed were of the high limit room. So great gambling. I hear the hosts are pretty decent with back end comps. And remember, your comp rooms are going to be very, 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 very valuable, especially in the winter, like January or February, because the room rates can get as high as $800 for a room at Baha Mar. And the comp rooms include the resort fee and taxes. So this is a very important thing to remember. Now, it is a Hyatt Privé property, and I think one of the slides showed what the Hyatt Privé benefits were. Did we have that slide with the Hyatt Privé benefits?
Yeah, it's
Modesto?
actually towards the end. Right now, we got a washer and dryer. I'm assuming that was in the room.
I wanted to. We have the washer and dryer. Yes, there's a reason for that. I do these little things as little cues for myself. So what's really cool is you've got an East Tower and a West Tower. I stayed in the East Tower. East Tower is much more red, heavy on the feng shui. West Tower is much more heavy on the families. And believe it or not, there is a washer. Why is that washer dryer staying up so long? There is a washer dryer in the West. Cue to change side in the West Tower residences, 1 bedroom and 2 bedroom. And you will also notice in the West Tower residence that there is a full kitchen. These were built sort of similar to the idea with Cosmopolitan. These were built on the West Tower to originally be like some kind of timeshare condo kind of thing. And instead, they became hotel rooms. This is amazing for the West Tower because you actually are staying in a luxury hotel with great dining and room service, but you also have a full kitchen and a washer dryer. Think how convenient that is taking your family on vacation. That's pretty awesome.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Right. And it gives you the advantages of what you would get in like an Airbnb or a timeshare in a luxury hotel, where they're going to do housekeeping every day, where you can order room service and all of that. Touching on that, it's also a way to save some money because you can stop off at the grocery store on the way to the hotel or bring some things. Because, of course, if your kids just like Cheerios in the morning, it's way cheaper just to have the Cheerios in the morning. There's that great pizza from Pizza Lab, too. Love the name. Probably one of the best pizza places in the Caribbean from people I've spoken to. The pizzas are pretty on point. I'm not the most pizza picky, but it was really good. And the prices are very, very good for Baha Mar, because that's the thing. Baha Mar prices are expensive. Bahamas has very high taxes, and there's also a resort fee that adds to it. This could be a reason why you might want to use your Hyatt points, because if you use your Hyatt points for a room at Baha Mar, you do not have to pay the resort fee. That's great to know, and that's very Hyatt specific. So that's a really good thing to know. But of course, points can only be used for regular rooms, and the suite upgrades only go to a grand suite, which is good for 3 people. But you could pay to upgrade to some of those kind of residences and things like that.
I just noticed that little cool cloud pattern they have there in the middle, in the casino up there in the ceiling. That's interesting. I hadn't even realized those were clouds.
Yeah, no, it's a beautiful property. And there's one picture I put up there that shows how you can see the whole outdoor area. And they also have a fountain show in the front.
Oh, cool.
Sort of like a Bellagio kind of idea. So some rooms have fountain view, some rooms have ocean view. So that's the main complaint about Baha Mar, there you are. Look at that. From the casino, you can see outside, which is great. From a casino design perspective, that's a very new kind of thing to do, to allow you to see outside from a casino. So, I mean, that was something that was never done years ago. So when we talk about price, it is a pricey resort. But one of the great nice things about it, like I was telling you, the residences, you could self-cater some food. But the nice thing about it is that all of the restaurants, which are quite pricey, except for Pizza Lab, are really good, excellent meals. So you are paying a lot of money, but you are getting really good dining experiences. The service is excellent. The food is excellent. You do have to make reservations in advance. So while a lot of people complain how expensive it is to go to Baha Mar, especially with a family, you are getting super duper quality. They also have tons of loungers on the beach, which you do not have to pay extra for. They also have some that you can pay for. They have a water park where there are tons of loungers, amazing water park. They also have gambling at the pavilion at the water park. So while your kids are in the water park, you can go gamble. Limited hours, but another great feature. But one of the things that's nice about Baha Mar is that you are going to spend a decent amount of money, but you're going to feel that you're getting good quality, good quality dining. So that's one of the pros and cons of that kind of thing. But that is something, because there's nothing worse than spending a lot of money and feeling that you aren't getting really good meals and really good quality. So that's something definitely to keep in mind. And there are those Hyatt Privé benefits. Hyatt Privé does include breakfast. Breakfast is at the Regatta. Excellent breakfast. The breakfast is about $100, includes gratuity too for two people. This buffet has everything. It's got great green juices, multiple omelet stations, all the charcuterie. It also has bao buns and Asian food and anything you would want for breakfast. Excellent breakfast buffet. Highly, highly recommended and worth it. And that will come with your Hyatt Privé room reservation. So that's something good to know. And that's about everything. Anything you noticed there that I forgot to clarify? I think I handled everything. So Baha Mar, great place to go. Really, really great place to take a family. It's also relatively easy to fly into Nassau, Bahamas. Nassau, Bahamas is a pre-clearance international destination. What does pre-clearance mean? That means that you will clear customs in the United States when you leave the Bahamas, so that when you land in the United States, you do not have to clear customs. This is not the biggest deal for people who have global entry, but it is pretty nice because then you just land and go to baggage claim in the United States. They also have a global entry line for pre-clearance. Variable. Nassau Airport leaving, since it's international, can be extremely variable during certain times of year. I went, it was empty, truly empty on a Sunday afternoon. But that's something to keep in mind. But pre-clearance is actually really cool because it allows them to fly to other airports and you don't need to have customs operating. So you can fly to an. So basically, since the customs operations are done in the Bahamas, they could fly to, like, if they wanted to, LaGuardia Airport, which isn't an international airport. So that's sort of cool, right?
That is sort of cool, yeah.
Yeah, so people so it's like you're front loading all the customs. So there's actually the US Border Patrol and customs people are at Nassau Airport, and you go through that whole process before right after security. You go through security and then you go through pre-clearance. And that's about it. Any questions, Malvestro? Anything you noticed that I did not clarify well? Because I think I covered most of it. We've got a great landing page about Baha Mar on the TravelZork.travel website. I always tell people to visit TravelZork.travel to check out a lot of the properties that we like and love. And we've also written about it a little bit on TravelZork. And we just dropped a video of the one-bedroom residence on the East Tower. This is the one without the washer dryer, but with lots of red and a little bit more feng shui. I would say that's the one you want to go to if you're not with a family. And that video is also up too.
All right, yeah, it looks like you covered everything. When you think back about your most recent trip to Baha Mar, what's the one thing that you missed the most?
The one thing that I miss the most is I absolutely love being at beach resorts. The only problem is that when I was there, it was very rainy, but I absolutely love waking up and looking at the ocean and being at a beach resort. And I had a beautiful view of the ocean. And I think that it's just wonderful. Oh, another thing that they're doing, which I really like, is they're not doing any of the plastic water bottles anymore. So they give you a really nice water bottle. I think we have a slide about, I think one of the slides that showed the water bottle, or maybe we showed it in the video, but they give you these nice Baha Mar water bottles and they have filling stations for the water, which is really cool. So I really like that. And when you stay on the east side, as opposed to the west side, which is the one with the washer dryers and the kitchen. The east side has a small little VIP lounge, which also has coffee and espresso and some pastries, and somewhere in the morning and somewhere during in the evening. So that's another advantage of the east residences to the west.
All right, cool. I got nothing to add. Before we get going, do you have anything on your mind? Any closing remarks?
No, just Zorkfest's on my mind. Go check it out. There's still time. Zorkfest.com. That's ZORKFEST.com.
That's right. There's only 9 tickets left, so if you're seeing this and you haven't gotten your ticket,
yeah, we might let a few more, but we're close. We increased it a little. We were down to 4, but we've been tweaking it a little because there's those last minute people.
All right, well, that's going to do it for this episode. Luxury travel booking, TravelZork.travel. Be sure to visit us at TravelZork.travel to plan your next amazing vacation, and be sure to join the conversation on social media. You can find us easily. All social platforms are at TravelZork. We'll see you next time.